Hello and welcome to the God is Awesome podcast. Today we are going to dive into the 10 Commandments. These commandments were given to us by God to help us in living a righteous and godly life. The first commandment states, "You shall have no other gods before me." This reminds us to put God above all else and to worship only Him. We must not let anything or anyone else take His place in our hearts. The second commandment tells us, "You shall not make for yourself an idol." This warns us against worshiping false gods or material possessions. We must remember that God is the one true God, and nothing should come between us and Him. The third commandment instructs us, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." This reminds us to speak of God with reverence and respect. His name is holy and should not be used carelessly or disrespectfully. The fourth commandment states, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." This encourages us to set aside time each week to rest, reflect, and worship God. By honoring the Sabbath, we show our dedication to Him and acknowledge His importance in our lives. The fifth commandment tells us, "Honor your mother and father." This teaches us to respect and care for our parents, as they have given us life and guidance. By honoring our parents, we honor God's design for family and relationship. The sixth commandment warns us, "You shall not murder." This commandment prohibits us from taking another person's life. Life is a precious gift from God, and we must treat it with a reverence and respect. The seventh commandment instructs us, "You shall not commit adultery." This reminds us to be faithful and loyal in our relationships. Adultery destroys trust and intimacy and goes against God's design for marriage. The eighth commandment states, "You shall not steal." This prohibits us from taking what does not belong to us. We must be honest and trustworthy in all our dealings with others. The ninth commandment tells us, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." This warns us against lying or spreading false information about others. We must speak the truth in love and show respect for the reputation of those around us. And finally, the 10th commandment instructs us, "You shall not covet." This warns us against desiring what belongs to others. We must be content with what we have and trust in God's provision for our needs. These commandments serve as a guide for living a righteous and godly life. Let us strive to follow them faithfully and honor God in all that we do. Thank you for listening to the God is Awesome podcast. And remember, God is awesome.